Hey guys, thanks for joining the webinar. Welcome to the How to Become a Six-Figure Trader in 2015 webinar. Alright, people are still joining in, watching the screen, so we have a few hundred people, so I'm glad that, the marketing for this worked out. But as the students come in, I'm just going to introduce myself and give a little outline of what I'm going to be talking about today. I hope you guys are excited to be here. Don't worry about taking notes or anything like that, just listen. And watch the screen and be attentive because I'll provide you with a recording link and I'll download it and I'll send you an email about it, so don't worry about that. But I'm glad you guys made it. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Mubarak Shah. I'm a CPA, license pending, depending on when you're watching this. And I got into trading actually in college. And what happened was I learned a little bit. I saw that a lot of people weren't really getting rich from just investing. If you invest in Apple last year, you might have gotten a 30% return, but if you only have $5,000, 30% of that is only $1,500, which is good, but in a year that's not really enough to make you rich. So I started researching different methods on how to actually make money in the stock market. And fortunately I got lucky. I spent about 6 months to a year really learning, trial and error. And then fortunately I made enough in order to pay off my school loans, which was good because they're not, it's not subsidized by any government program. So that came out to an amount larger than $30,000. So that was good, being a college student and only 20 years old. So I started to help. I created almost a website about it. I'm the founder of InPennyStock.com, which you're probably watching this on right now. But I did that just for friends and family, just because a lot of people wanted to know what I was doing. I was that kid in the school library that would be trading on a few different computers. So it brought some attention, and people started asking me questions. So instead of repeating myself constantly, I just made some videos and put them online. And thanks to Google and everything, I guess what ended up happening was other people started finding my videos. And when that happened, they started contacting me and asking questions, and that's kind of when I got the idea to start the website and make it into an actual membership and create the videos and really help people out. And so then what I did was I also founded the In Penny Stock podcast, which was a deal with Apple, so you can hear me on iTunes, and I'm also on Stitcher Radio actually. And that ended up being very successful. I was able to very recently actually reach over 6 figures in downloads and listens, and it became the #1 rated penny stock podcast in 2014. So I was really happy about that, and that's all thanks to you guys. If you heard me from the podcast or if you're just tuning in, so that's kind of what I've been working on. And so now let's talk about the webinar. Why you guys are here. So in this webinar, I'm going to cover pretty much as I can to let you guys know how you can become a 6-figure trader in 2015, alright? Because the market is booming, and there's a lot of speculation going on because people don't know whether or not we're continuing to rise or whether there's a crash coming around the corner. And I'm not one to speculate, but fortunately, the stocks that I'm going to be talking about and the stocks that I made my money in are ones that weren't affected by the financial markets. So in this course, in this webinar, in this video series, I'm going to be going over the entire A to Z of how to trade penny stocks, going from what's a penny stock, types of penny stocks, how to trade them, how to succeed in trading, and then I'm also going to be going over the #1 mistake that people usually end up making when trading penny stocks. So there's a lot to stay tuned. Then there's going to be a bonus at the end of this webinar, so I hope you guys stay, because I'll definitely have a lot to talk about then. But essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over different strategies you can implement. Okay, and now it seems like students are pretty much filled in, so I'm going to get started here in about a minute. But I just want to talk a little bit about, I'm not sure, how you guys found the webinar or, what your motive is to make money, but in essence, what I realized was no one gets rich working a 9 to 5. No one gets rich just investing in stocks, okay? And I'm going to talk about why if you're investing in Apple, Twitter, Google, those are great investments and they'll get you 10, 20% return in a good market. But what you have to realize though is that it really, if you're investing less than $100,000, which I'm assuming, I didn't have that type of money, and I'm assuming most people watching this aren't able to invest more than $100,000 at a time, then you're not going to be able to make enough money from that investment to be able to sustain yourself, all right? So the type of stocks that we're going to be, sorry, I'm not sure why the sound is going on outside, but we're going to be talking about how to make about 6 figures in a year through trading. And the returns of the stocks that we're going to be trading are going to be anywhere from 100% to 200%. And I'm going to show you examples of trades, and I'm going to show you how to trade, the softwares to use, everything you need so that you can get started making money with stocks. Alright?
Now, let's start off with what exactly a penny stock is. Before we go any further, talking about trading or how to make profits or how to get involved in the penny stock market, I want to start with the very basics, and that is what exactly is a penny stock. There's a lot of misconceptions and a lot of negative connotations about the penny stock market. So I just want to clear that up right now. A penny stock, as defined by the SEC, which is the Securities and Exchange Commission, which is a federal regulatory agency, defines a penny stock as any stock under $5, and that is technically the quote unquote the street definition of what a penny stock is. But pretty much any stock that's traded under $5, under $10 sometimes, is considered a penny stock. Okay, and the reason it's called a penny stock is because literally some of these stocks you can buy for a single penny. Don't worry about this module right here right now. This is just a list of different penny stocks, and you can see their prices right here. Don't worry about the bid and the ask. I'm going to go over that later. You can just see right here that these are stocks, and these are actual stocks that you can purchase, and they literally cost a single penny, or 4 cents for a share of a stock of DIRV or Direct View Holdings. So they're called penny stocks because they're so low priced, and that's exactly what is the appeal of penny stocks, is because they are traded at such low prices. You can actually invest or trade these stocks and make money because of the volatility in their prices, which I'll go over later. But in this video, I just want to cover what exactly a penny stock is, and try to clear up different things about the industry. Basically, one of the reasons that they can make you money is because of the price changes that occur in these stocks. So as you can see here, I'm going to sort this by percentage change. This is everything that happened in a single day. Okay, this all happened on March 25th, and you can see, actually the thing is, sometimes you have to ignore a few of these trades. This went up 75,000%. Don't focus on that. That wasn't traded too much, but as you can see here, this went up, it just went up about a penny, but because this traded at less than a penny when it opened, you could have made a profit in it. That's a lot of guessing and everything, but the ones that are more realistic are the ones that down here, 200% gains, 100% gains, 70% gains. If you know how to day trade and you know how to invest in these penny stocks, you can make this much money in a single day. These are percent changes in a single day. It's March 25th. So this is the first video. All I wanted to do was kind of introduce penny stocks and show you how they can make you money, and it's because of the percentage changes that occur. These are shares of a company, so when you buy a penny stock, you're buying a percentage of a company. It's not a large percentage, because when these companies issue their shares, which means that they make these shares that you are buying, these stocks, available to the public, they issue millions of shares, several millions of shares. So when you buy a handful of stocks, say 100, 1,000, 10,000, which isn't much. If you buy 10,000 shares, you have to remember it's just 1 penny, so it comes out to like $100. So that's not too, it's not that hefty of an investment, but you technically own 10,000 shares of this company. And all you have to remember is that the price changes in these shares occur because of supply and demand. So technically, because of the fact that these penny stocks are traded on a market, and in the next video I'm going to go over the different types of markets, but you just have to know that these penny stocks are traded on a market, so you can actually think of them as a product that's being bought and sold, and just think of them as an actual widget or a real product being traded, because that's what they are. And just the only thing about them is it's something that you can't hold in your hand, and actually you can if you they actually can. I mean, actually back in the day they used to issue physical shares, not anymore, but um, you know you can have and trade these shares, and you can buy and sell them. And so, in the next video, I'm going to go over how these penny stocks are bought and sold, and the different markets and ways that they are traded. I want to show you guys exactly how to buy and sell and lock in your profits, okay? For you guys who are just starting to trade or just about to get into virtual trading, this is a very good introductory video for you guys to know exactly how to execute orders and how trading works in general. Okay, so I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what you're seeing on the screen right now. Alright, this is what we call the platform, and this is how we trade and buy or sell stocks. So there's many different platforms, as I've discussed before, and this is what you use and is provided for you through your brokerage. So whatever company you decide to set up your brokerage account with, say it's ShareTrader or TD Ameritrade, as I would probably recommend, they give you this software to download. So right now what you're looking at is called thinkorswim. This is the platform that TD Ameritrade offers. So a lot of these platforms look a little different, but in reality and for the purpose of learning how to buy and sell, they all have similar structures and they all follow the same rules. So whereas the placement of certain buttons and features might be different and the charts might look different in terms of the color scheme and all that, this video will still be very helpful in having you guys understand how to buy, how to sell, and how you actually make money trading and what exactly it consists of. So let's get right into it. What you do here is you can pick the stock that you want to buy. So say you're looking at FEMA, alright, FNMA, and that's Fannie Mae. That's a very popular stock these days. I wouldn't advise trading it right now because it's always a very high volume stock, but say this is the stock you're going to trade. What you do is you have to open up a buy or sell order. Now there's various ways to do it, but essentially through using thinkorswim you can click on buy market here, and what that does is usually this is minimized. Okay, so all this is how you actually see. This is the chart, this is the options you have in terms of what to do. You can buy, you can sell. Ignore the fact that it says buy MKT, that means market. As I've mentioned before, you always want to only trade with limit orders. But in general, the reason you want to click this button is because it opens up this order entry tool at the bottom. Okay, and this order entry tool allows you to be able to buy and sell stocks when you need to. So the reason it's called an order is because that's exactly pretty much what you're doing. You're placing an order to buy a stock. Alright, so you'll be putting in an order entry. Now it seems like there's a lot of options, but let me break it down for you. Alright, you're always going to be pretty much buying a stock. There's different options, sometimes you can even buy options, but that's a whole other category. When you click on the buy market, you're going to be buying, but you can also just change to sell if you want to sell. Okay? Then this number here, the plus 100, is the amount of shares that you want to buy. So, usually it depends on how you want to place your position. So that also depends on how much money you have in your account. So you have to do the math very quickly. So for example, say you have $1,000 in your account and the stock is worth $1, you will probably, if and you want to go all in, which I wouldn't recommend for people with large accounts, but with small accounts you kind of have to start doing that. First start with virtual trading and small orders, like maybe a couple hundred shares, but slowly you'll build your confidence, and that's how you'll be able to make money, and that's how you'll be able to grow your account exponentially. So this affects how many shares you want to purchase. So you can change it. I can make it 500. Okay, and then this right here is the symbol you're trading, and as I stated before, we're looking at Fannie Mae, and I hit the buy button while we were looking at this chart, so it opens it. That's the symbol. Now the only other really important part is the order right here. This itself is very important, okay, because as I was talking about before, you never want to do market orders, okay? You always want to pretty much stick with limit orders. A limit order allows you to specifically choose a certain price to buy a stock at, okay? So if you want to buy the stock at $4.10, then you want to place a limit order for $4.10. Alright, and you can adjust, when you click on limit, you can adjust the price here. That means that when you put in the order and you confirm and send the order, all of the stocks that you will purchase will be priced at $4.10. Now the reason that is very important, especially with these penny stocks, is because if you were to use a market order, the issue is that you would just get the price that the stock is trading at, and that can range dramatically because of the markets that we are trading in. So when you trade OTC BB stocks or pink sheet stocks, then there's a lot of volatility involved. And the problem with purchasing a market is that the stock price right here, this is up here on the top right, is where you can see the stock price. And right now I'm shooting this video after hours, but during the day, during the trading hours and when the market is open, this price would be fluctuating like crazy because of the price change and the bids and the asks affecting the price of the stock. So the issue is, if you see here, this shows you the orders that are in the queue, and I'm gonna go over that later. This is level 2, which I'm about to actually release a video on a little later today, kind of an introductory video, but I'll link to that. I'll talk about that later. But in general, just stay away from market, because the problem with market is that you will still get the stocks and you might get them faster, but you won't get them at the price that you want. And that becomes very risky, because it is very possible that you want to buy the stock at 410, so you put the buy order but at that point, and you end up getting the stock at like 430. And yeah, that sounds really ridiculous, but that actually happens, especially in these OTC BB and pink sheet stock markets. So never ever do market, stick with limit orders. Okay, and then when you have your confirmation, you want to do 500 shares of Fannie Mae, you want to buy it at 410, all you do is hit confirm and send, and it'll open up an order confirmation dialog. Okay, obviously, like I said before, this is Thinkorswim, this is the TD Ameritrade platform, but your own software and your own brokerage platform will have a very similar order confirmation to this. And basically this gives you a summary of everything you're doing. You're buying 500 shares of Fannie Mae at 410, and it's going to cost you a total of $2,059. Now it should only cost you $2,050, but remember, you have to take into account the commission. Okay, the rest of the information that it tells you has to do with buying power effect, meaning how much you'll still be able to buy. But I go into that in later videos. And I discuss the concept of margin versus leverage in other videos, so definitely check those out. But this is kind of what you see, and then all you do is hit send, and it places the order. And now, as you can see, I have an order here for 500 shares at $4.10. Now, what the screen you're looking at right now is called the level 2 screen. so don't worry too much about it. Um, but essentially then what I could do if I wanted was I could right click, and I could, if I wanted to change the order, I right click on my order and I hit cancel or replace the order, and at this point I could change it to a different price. Now this might be very useful for you guys, because as you'll probably notice, once you start virtual trading or once you start actually trading, of course I recommend you start with virtual trading first, you'll notice that you want to basically make sure that you get in a good limit price, so you're always going to price your shares low, but in essence the stock price moves so quickly that you might have to readjust it. So you don't want to put in another order, okay? Remember that. You want to replace the order. You right click here and you replace the order, and then you do the same thing again. Now don't worry about the commission. You're only going to be charged commission when an order is fully executed, okay? So you don't have to worry about that right now, fortunately, because the order wasn't executed. And when it does get executed, you'll get pop-ups, alright? But this is a good example of the statuses that you will see. Okay, this is my old order that I put in. That was the first one that I put in at 410. And because I replaced it, it said you are out. Okay, and you can see it here. This order was canceled. Alright, and now I replaced it. When the status says at 4:15, when the status says working, that means that they're trying to fill the order. Okay, so now your order is there, and the platform is going to try and get you the stocks at the price that you want. So as soon as there's a seller that's willing to sell it at that point at 4:15, you know, depending on how many people are buying it at the same price you are, your order should be filled, and then you'll get a couple of pop-ups on your screen telling you that your order was filled, and then you hold a position. And then, you know, to lock in your profits, all you do is you hope that the stock goes up, which you can pretty much, you know, effectively predict based on different strategies, which I have in the detailed strategies section. And you go on, and then once the order is executed, you do the same thing. You just sell. And by hitting the sell button, again, it opens up the order entry book, but the difference is now this time you're selling your shares. Of course, you can't sell more than you have, so you would go back and you can control the amount you want to sell. You don't have to necessarily sell all the shares at once. For example, in this case, I'm going to sell 500 shares, assuming that I already bought them. And again, I'm going to never do market. You're going to place it at limit. And I'm going to set the price that I want to sell my shares at. Okay? And you can even set this order before the stock price reaches that. Okay, so as soon as you buy your stocks, you know, watch the market, but you can even set a limit order, you know, where you want to lock in your profits, you know, 20-30 cents higher. You know, sometimes I do that, and then I'll adjust it based on how I see the market reacting. So yeah, that's the introductory video on how to buy and sell and how to understand the order book. I'll go more into it. If you guys have any questions, again, email me at admin@inpennystock.com, and I'll have a more clarified version if there's anything that I missed or anything you don't understand. But I hope this helps you guys understand how you buy and sell these stocks. However, I want to also explain to you why even the top traders lose money. Okay? Now, as I mentioned in the last video, in video 2 of the module, 90% of traders lose money. Okay? 90% of day traders lose money, but the reasons that they lose money, sorry, let me fix that. The reason that they lose money is because they don't trade with rules. They don't trade with rules. That is the most important, and that is what I develop and teach you guys throughout these videos in the beginner module, intermediate, advanced, in the Penny Stock VIP videos and lessons. That is the key to being a successful and profitable trader. Okay, even people who have been trading for 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years still sometimes lose money. And you might think, wow, if they sometimes lose money, then how am I supposed to not lose money? And you have to understand the only reason that occurs is because they don't follow their rules. And if you've been trading for any amount of time, you'll understand what I mean. Okay? If you're new to this, you haven't started trading, you're not going to exactly understand why these top traders make these losing trades or these risky trades until you yourself get into trading. And so I'd recommend getting into virtual trading, which, sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself. That's a future video. Um, but you'll see once you start trading what I mean by not following your rules. Every time a top penny stock trader, or even just in general, any time, once you understand day trading, okay, there's first of all, there's two categories, okay. There's the 90% of day traders or people who invest in penny stocks who have no idea what they're doing. They're pretty much just gambling. They would be better off going into the casino and playing the slot machine or playing poker or playing blackjack, okay, or literally just playing the lottery. That's what they do. They have no mindset, they have no understanding of how the penny stock market works. you know that's why they lose money, okay, because people think that penny stocks are a get rich quick scheme, and you know what, they're not. They're not. You're not gonna get rich quick, okay. The way you're gonna get rich is through small, conservative, consistent gains, okay. Every trade you're gonna make a couple $100, couple $1,000, and that's how you're gonna get rich, okay. Sometimes you hear of those $100,000 days, or this guy Modern Rock on Twitter. He's pretty much an amazing trader. He made $1 million in a single day trading FEMA, shorting FEMA last week. Okay, that is not gonna happen every day. Those are phenomenal days, and those guys have been trading for a while. Okay, don't worry about that. You're not at that level yet. What we want to focus on is just consistent small trades, and that's, you're going to build up the money in your account, you're going to build up your confidence, you're going to build up your trading skills by doing that. Okay, the problem though is that when you're day trading, okay, you're sitting in front of a screen from 9:30 to 4 o'clock ideally, okay, or you're in the mindset to trade for that time. Okay, if you have nothing else to do, which some people invest in penny stocks at work, or try to do it passively, and that's a strategy too. My strategy is more hands-on, but once you understand the strategy, you can quickly get in and out of trades and do them in literally a minute. um, so it's just whatever your preference is, but you have to understand that sometimes what happens is you enter a trade that you technically shouldn't, only because you get quote unquote bored. Okay? Timothy Sykes, he's a trader. He has a great quote. I love it. I'm going to copy it. He says, "You should act like you're a retired trader who only comes in for the great trades and then goes back into retirement." And that's a great philosophy to have, okay? Don't worry about how to identify what the great trades are right now. I'm going to go over that in my intermediate modules, in my Penny Stock VIP membership. That is all going to be covered there. For now, I'm just introducing you to penny stocks. I'm just trying to motivate you into spending your time and spending your free time and getting excited about how you can make money in this industry. And I'm telling you the truth. I've just helped friends recently start from scratch into making six figures. That is pretty good for less than a year's worth of work. I don't know many industries that you can do that unless you, I guess, open up, like right now it's in March 25th, 2014, unless you pretty much get into the marijuana business. I don't, the medical marijuana business. Um, there's nothing that can make you this much money on a relatively consistent basis this fast. And it's only fast if you put in the effort. It's not it's not like you're gonna get handed the okay, trade this stock at this time, buy it at this price, sell it at this price. No, that's not what this is about. These videos are here to teach you, to motivate you, and to make you understand how to become a trader. Okay, on my website you can see right here I provide daily watch lists of the trades and stocks that I'm looking at. Okay, I want you to be able to create your own watch list, and you will as you go through my videos and understand more. So, you know, then I want to just discuss that the number one reason the top traders lose money is because they don't follow the rules. And when you don't follow the rules, you get too excited, you get bored, and you just enter a trade that you shouldn't. That's when you lose money. So, and you'll see that as soon as you start trading, if hopefully you won't, actually, you can't win every trade, okay? The real honesty of it is you're going to win about, once you're successful, about 80% of trades or 90% of trades. But you're going to learn how to quickly get out of losing trades and how to immediately identify losing trades so that you don't lose money, or you lose a very small, super small amount of money. So that the goal here is to, again, and this is a pretty much Super Trades, who's another trader who I'm sure as you get involved in the penny stocking industry you'll learn. But he talks about you maximize your gains and you minimize your losses. That's the key. Okay, if on your winning trades, okay, it's basic math. Don't worry, I'm not going to get too mathematical, but if 80% of the time you're winning, okay, and you're making money and you're making $1,000, okay, so 4 out of 5 trades you're making $1,000, and then on the fifth trade you mess up, you break a rule, and you lose money, but you only lose $100. That means every 5 trades you're still making $3,900. And again, those are just hypothetical random numbers, but I'm just explaining the philosophy, okay? Don't think you're going to win 100% of the time, because you're not. There's not a single trader in the world, there's not a single automated high frequency trading machine that does that. But the key here is to learn how to identify the best trades, how to trade them, how to make money, how to win about 80 to 90% of the time, and then how to make sure that if you ever by accident, which you will, get into a trade that you shouldn't, how you can exit immediately so you barely lose any money and you keep yourself in the game. You keep your account safe, you keep your money safe, and you keep on going. So yeah, that was the number one reason why top traders lose money. I'll see you in the next video. Hey guys, in this video I'm going to give you guys pretty much everything. By popular demand, I'm releasing this video on my complete day trading strategy. And what I mean is the exact way that I trade, the setup that I have, the screens that I have open, the tools that I use, and the mental strategies and psychology that I have while trading, as well as how I trade throughout the day. Okay, because I provide you guys with a lot of strategies, my dip buying strategy, my intraday news strategy, the double catalyst rule, green to red momentum. I hope you guys all know what I'm talking about. If not, watch those videos before you watch this one. But okay, so I'm just gonna get right into it because there's a lot to cover, and I'm gonna try to give you guys just the best and most condensed but detailed version that I can. Okay, so in the morning, I go in with a few active stocks before the bell even rings. There's a few stocks that I have on my mind. Okay, these are stocks usually from my watch list. These are stocks that had good news that came out. Okay, so the thing is, there's a reason why I don't have a whole bunch of stocks on my watch list. Okay, the other gurus for some reason put like 10, 15, 20 stocks in their watch list, and I respect their whole trading strategy, but the thing is, these watch lists are only good so that you have direction going into the trading day. Okay, so going into the trading day, I only have a list about 2, 3, 4, maybe tops 5 stocks that I'm looking at and that I think are going to have some decent action throughout the day and are hot stocks for the day. And again, they have to fit my stock screening criteria, which I outlined in my ultimate stock screening criteria video. So going in, I have to first you have to make sure you have all the tools and all the screens set up. Okay, the way you do this is up to you. Some people, I personally have a big monitor which I split up, plus a laptop, plus a side monitor. Some people have those, NASA looking 6 monitor display setup, and some people have three. I think three is a bit more reasonable. You don't need six, but whatever you're comfortable with. I'm not a technical support guy, so I can't help you with setting up your system, but I can tell you what tools you should have open. Okay, you definitely need to have open, obviously, your broker account. Okay, so me personally, I have Thinkorswim open. Okay, I like their platform. I'm used to it. I have had good luck with it, and a lot of prosperity, fortunately, with it. So I use Thinkorswim. They provide free level 2. I have that screen open. Okay, I keep Equity Feed open. Okay, I keep my market view of that open. I keep my live news ticker, my streaming news. This screen right here, I have it open because it's my live news stream. So I keep that open because I want to know what news has come out about the stock, and I need to know what news comes out throughout the day. Okay, then I also have a chat room open. Okay, personally I prefer Tim Sykes. Soon maybe I'll open my own chat room if there's enough demand. There's been some people that have mentioned it, but I think I need a lot. I want to have a very cohesive and large group before I open up a chat room, and I would design it in a different way, but that's in the future. Who knows, maybe when you're watching this video I'll have the chat room up. We'll see. But so I have a chat room open. Timothy Sykes is good. Investors Underground is great. Superman is more a different trading style, but it's up to you. Test the different chat rooms. I have a video out called Benefits of Trading in a Chat Room. Watch that so you can understand why I think you need to have a chat room open, because you definitely do. I have Yahoo Finance open. The reason for that is because Equity Feed, even though it's a great tool, it doesn't necessarily capture all the news and all the different outlets. So I use Yahoo Finance so I can keep that open and stream the news whenever I need to, or look up a ticker if I want to do in-depth analysis of it. And then ideally, I used to trade like this in the past. I haven't been trading with it recently because I've been a lot more conservative and fortunately following my rules a lot more, meaning I've been winning a lot more, and doing a lot more profitable trades and gaining a lot, fortunately. But you want to have like a TV that streams like CNBC or Market Watch, or these finance channels going on, because when a stock, or in the chat rooms you'll see, that's why you need a chat room, because you'll know, for example, when a penny stock is about to be on a TV show or on a news show. So keeping that on, the finance channels in the background is important, because if they ever mention a penny stock, you're gonna see the price usually shoot up. It's good news. It's a good catalyst. So, and then again, I have you want to have certain drinks, because when you're in a position, you stay glued to the screen. So sometimes you want to just be able to grab a quick cup of, you want to have your coffee with you, or a drink, or water bottles. I have some snacks, healthy food. If you're just sitting in front of a screen from 9:30 to 4, and you're snacking all day, you're gonna be in a bad position. So, be a healthy trader. It'll keep your mind stimulated more, and it'll just allows you to think faster, react faster, and that's what you need in trading. You need to be quick. You need to be able. Some people say I talk fast, and or I write too fast, and I thus believe that that's the case because my brain is always going. I'm always thinking. It's always focusing on something, or I always have something to say or do. So anyways, you want to be healthy, you want to be active, you want to be quick and agile, because that's how we are as traders. That's how we make our money. Okay, and you need to be quick, because why? Because the market is quick. And anyone who's been trading for a decent amount of time, you can see how quick these stocks go up and how quick they crash if you're not fast enough. So again, those are the tools, but now let me go over the mentality of the actual trading day. Okay, you go in, I have my mindset. Okay, I have this video that I recently came out with called Morning Volatility. My morning to you guys, and so I don't trade anymore in the mornings. From 9:30 to 10, I don't. Okay, I take a stance. Actually, I trade the trades that I enter in the morning, I keep a very, very big or very small stop loss for it. If it goes in my against me for even a second, I get out of the trade. So I only lose maybe a penny a share, if that, because it's too much volatility. Sometimes if it's like a give me stock, like such an easy stock, like a stock announces amazing quarterly profits, and it has great indicators, and it just broke a new high. If it has a triple catalyst, then I'm gonna trade it. XXII, I made I made a large sum of money in the morning, um, because they were going to be listed onto the Nasdaq. I knew it was going to be approved. I knew the news was going to go up. And watch my other videos to understand why I have this mentality and how I'm able to tell. And it followed the other catalyst rules. It had good price action, so I bought it in the morning and I sold. And you know what? Sometimes it's just good to get out then. I've had days, and the last time was 3 weeks ago actually, on this stock, UPIP. That was a good trade. I liked that trade. I traded, this was a good one. I traded at 9:30, okay, and I went down to the second. I traded 9:30 and I sold at 9:31, and I made like 25% in a minute. So I made a good sum of money. I wasn't even supposed to trade that day. I was actually meeting up with a friend of mine later on, and I was supposed to have left my house by then. So I wouldn't advise this, but here's a, sorry for going to a tangent, but once you understand the rules and go through my videos and learn everything there is to know about penny stocks, and you can do that by understanding my videos and having practiced, you don't need so much preparation time. People think that it takes hours and hours of due diligence and burying your head into books and financials and filings, and it doesn't take that long at all. That's why I have my whole series of how to research a stock in 5 minutes or less. And a lot of the times when I come to my stocks is because of news or something that I get from my tools. If you're more than 50, maybe even 75, maybe even 80% of traders don't have the tools that I just give you guys and I tell you guys to use. My pump and dump trackers, my equity feed, free level 2. These tools, just by having these tools, you're pretty much in the 10% of traders who are profitable because of the amount of advantages that you have. And once you master this education and these videos, and you watch them all and you understand them and you act upon them and you implement them, it doesn't require much work. LX21, an amazing, phenomenal trader, has made probably more than $10 million from the stock market. One of the best traders, penny stock traders in the world, I would say, or who has a name to himself, or who has, one of the best traders who has disclosed his trades. And he even says in his interviews and at this conference that he had, or that Tim Sykes had, that once the trading day's over, he closes his computer and he walks away and he's done. And he doesn't do anything related to the stock market until the next day, because all the information comes back to him. He does his basic prep, half an hour, but you don't need to do that much. But getting back into the day, in the morning I look at I look at my trades. If I already made a huge gain, I just walk away. And imagine that I worked for 1 minute, made a few $1,000s, and that, to me, that's good. Back in the day, I used to work in I worked in an accounting firm, and that would be almost like a monthly salary. So you know what? Or for associates. So when I make that, I'm happy. I don't get too greedy. Some people make $10,000 in a day, $100,000 in a day. I'm happy with a few $1,000s. I think you guys should be true too, unless you're amazing traders, in which case I think you guys should open up your own video service and let me know about it so I can learn from you. But anyways, so then after the morning, right after the morning volatility goes down 10:30, then the thing I like about that, and the thing you have to understand, is that then the daily patterns and the daily peaks and valleys and resistance and support has already been formed, and from that, that's how you can trade throughout the rest of the day. So now you have your, you know, your new high on the days and your low of the days and your supports and your resistance and your breakouts for the day. Because by 10:30 the volatility has happened, um, and then pretty much the rest of the day is pretty much the same after 10:30 to close. Um, you keep your eye on the news. Okay, the news is everything. Okay, as soon as something breaks out, the stock can go crazy depending on the news and depending on the price action. So definitely keep your eyes on the news. Um, Keep your eyes on the chat room. The chat room is especially Tim Sykes. His service alone is worth it just for the chat room, because there's a lot of traders on there. Two heads are better than one, and in some cases 600 heads are better than just you being alone and trying to do everything yourself. Okay, these people don't just trade mindlessly based off of their suggestions, but they basically they give you tickers, they give you stocks to look at, and then you look at the stock, you apply my rules and my analysis, or hopefully your own by this point, because you understand how to become an independent and self-sufficient trader. So you do that, and it gives the stocks that they mention allows you to look at different stocks and see whether or not you should enter trades. But that's technically how you trade. That's why the watch list is only really effective for the early morning. And even then, the early morning is so volatile that if you want to be conservative, I don't even trade anymore really in the early mornings. The last time I made that trade was just 9:30. That 9:30 trade where I had a few $1,000s, and it was exactly 41 seconds actually. When you go down to the second, I love that trade, and you know what, that happens. I don't have them all recorded. That's the most recent one in memory, but it's happened to me before, and it can happen to you too once you start getting into trading and understand how the rules work. So that's pretty much the strategy. Keep in mind that the stock market gets very slow around 12 to 2 o'clock. That's when people go out to lunch or take a break, or just aren't trading as much, and there's not as much volume going on in the markets. And then things pick back up around 2:30 to 4 o'clock in market close. So that is my trading strategy. If I left out anything, just leave a comment, and I'll go more detail into the exact trading strategy if you guys have any questions. So,
alright, so welcome back. Kudos to those of you who stuck around this long. I tried to provide as much information just for someone who was completely new to the markets and didn't exactly know what they were, but they had an interest in the stock market, so I wanted to cover everything. But there's a lot more to it, okay? If I could just, that was about 20 or 30 minutes. Unfortunately, I can't cover it all on how to become a six-figure trader in just 30 minutes, or else everyone would be doing it. But fortunately, what I did do was, over the course of a few years, I have put together a huge package of over 100 videos where you can learn how to trade and everything like that. And I'm providing you guys with that for free. So depending on where you're watching this, if you actually scroll down, you can, I put all the videos together in a package called In Penny Stock VIP. Just a little funny name that I came up. I thought it was cool, and my friends and family enjoyed it. So that's what we call it, and it's basically, I try to update it whenever I can, try to keep it updated for 2015 and with any new stock trends going on. But what you can do is you can sign up for a free 7-day trial, and that's only for you guys, and that's an offer that I'm only going to have my team stay open for until midnight, so 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. So I would definitely recommend, if this is something you're into, might as well check it out. It's there's over 100 plus videos of content that will teach you the A to Z of how to trade stocks and how to make money trading stocks, okay? These were just a little sample, maybe 1 or 2% of the amount of information, but you know what? It's very possible to make six figures, and there's many people online who have made it, and I'll go into stories, testimonials, I show everything, the entire process, real life trades. I give you the software, the tools, everything you need, to really get started and really start making money, okay? Just think about it yourself, what would you do with an extra $5,000 a month, okay? Because that's definitely possible. Once you understand the logistics of trading, that's something that's very affordable without even having to, quit your full-time job. And that's another thing I talk about, because a lot of people have questions like that. And unfortunately, this webinar, I couldn't access all the questions, and I saw some of them coming in, but I didn't want to make this like 2 hours long. So essentially, a lot of people are concerned with, hey, can I do this while working full-time? And you absolutely can, okay? You can learn it all, you can implement it, and I actually have photos on the website where I've made hundreds of dollars in seconds while trading from work. Probably not the best thing for my bosses to know, but let's hope they're not watching that right now. But in general, it's very possible to make a lot of money as long as you have the knowledge, okay? And the best thing to invest in, as I'm sure you've heard of, is yourself. So definitely check it out. I'm also offering, if you scroll down, a 50% off lifetime access to the InPenny Stock VIP. I constantly keep updating it as more videos come out, as people ask questions. I answer them in a video format, and I don't like to repeat myself, so I record everything and I just put it up there. So it constantly gets updated with the best strategies, the best techniques, how the actual details of how you can make money trading. So that's going for 50% off. Usually it's offered for a lot higher. So after 11:59 p.m. it will go back to double the price that you're currently seeing it at. And finally, there's the one-on-one executive coaching program. Now, this is not something I operate year-round. This is something I do very exclusively. I usually have a team of about 5 or 10 people that work with me, but I essentially coach you through it, okay? Because these are the people who are serious about stock trading. So if you have to already have been a member, you have to have watched the videos. You get access to, I have a partnership with Udemy, udemy.com. And I've taught thousands of students on Udemy through my penny stock courses that I have on there. So you get access to all of those 4 courses for free, which have hundreds of hours, or like hundreds of videos of content, and over 1,000 students, and that's like a $400. Each course is $97. So multiply that by 4, you get that all for free. But essentially, I work with you one-on-one to make sure that you become a 6-figure trader in 2015. So if that's something that interests you, I think there's a few more spots. There should be about 2 or 3 more spots depending on when you're watching this, because some people actually signed up during the webinar. They just scrolled down and they signed up, and so I think there's only 2 spots remaining. Waiting for my team to kind of get back to me on that. But that is also 50% off. That is going to go up and probably close, actually, because like I said, I only like working with a limited amount of people. So if you're serious about it, I would definitely recommend checking it out. And there's a lot of information provided so far. I don't want to, throw it all at you at once, because it takes time to digest, and the best way to do it is practice. And that's also something I go over, because a lot of people want to get into it but don't want to risk their real life money. So I show you how you can get into it without spending any money. And it's a concept called virtual trading, and I have a whole tutorial and videos on getting into virtual trading. So thanks for taking the time for me, with me, I guess. And I hope you guys learned a lot. I hope this provided some value for you. If you have any more questions, you can always reach me at admin, at inpennystock.com, or you can go on the website and reach me through the contact form. You'll probably get a faster rate if you do that, because my entire team watches that. So they'll be able to give you a faster response or elevate it to me if it's deemed necessary. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed the webinar, and I hope you keep in touch. And you know what, for those of you who are interested in it, I definitely recommend checking out InPenny Stock VIP. Just scroll down and you can sign up. There's a free 7-day trial, so why not try it out, see if it's something you like and something you enjoy. And for those of you who join, I'll see you inside the exclusive VIP membership.